Welcome to Live from Your Laptop, the EMEA edition. Hear straight from Klaviyo's community of some of the fastest growing brands and learn how they're growing their e-commerce business and owning their destiny. I'm your host, Rosie Wingate. For today's episode, we welcome Nuud.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the EMEA edition of Live from Your Laptop. Happy Thursday, if it's Thursday where you are. I know we have some Australian guests amongst lots of other locations, so I think it's just turned Friday for some of you. We are coming to you live from London today. Some of you might be new here, and some of you have come back after attending our first 2 Live from Your Laptop episodes. It's so lovely to see some returning faces, but welcome to everyone joining today. And to be honest, I am extra appreciative today as the sun is back out in London at least, and I know some of you could have gone to a lovely pub garden this afternoon, but you chose to come to this instead, so thank you for that. This is only our 3rd ever episode of the EMEA edition of Live from Your Laptop, which essentially means that the Klaviyo customers we will be showcasing are based in Europe and the UK. And to be honest, it's about time that we show them a bit of love because they really are doing some really great things. For those of you that are brand new here, get ready to learn some insightful tips for your business. Now, this is most definitely not your standard webinar. Live from Your Laptop is a safe place where we can come together with other like-minded brand builders and partners in the Klaviyo community to support each other. And my main aim is that you can each take away some brand new tactics to try out with your own company. I am so excited to talk to this amazing brand we have on here today. They have been a customer of ours for almost 2 years now, and in that time they have seen a huge amount of growth. And I think we are going to really benefit from what they have to share with us today. If you haven't done so already, head on over to the chat and introduce yourselves to the community. Like I said, this is a safe space, so let us know where in the world you're tuning in from, your name, and what company you're with. Also, feel free to turn those videos on. I really love seeing your faces every week, and it makes me feel a little less like I'm talking into a computer alone. So talking of introductions, my name is Rosie Wingate. I am the host of this show and the events coordinator here at Klaviyo. So today on Live from Your Laptop, I am welcoming the absolute leaders in the natural deodorant world, Nuud. Now, Nuud have been with Klaviyo for almost 2 years, which makes what they've done in that time all the more impressive. Very, very pleased to have them on the show today. They are a really cool brand. And if you haven't used their product yet, I would still bet money that you will have heard or have seen them around, which is all down to their extremely clever owned marketing. Now, the brand itself started with a secret formula, which sounds very James Bond, which has been passed down for generations in the founder's family until one day in 2017, he decided to share that formula with the world, and thus Nuud was born. So we're all going to learn a lot today, and we have so much to talk about, so I'm going to jump right into it. Joining us on the show today is Martin, who is the co-founder and managing director of Nuud. And we also have Eve, who is the marketing manager for Nuud. So she handles all things email marketing and knows the ins and outs of Klaviyo. And together, they're going to discuss how this Netherlands-based startup began in 2017 and is now one of the leading natural deodorant brands in Europe, battling the titans of the industry like Dove and Nivea. You'll also learn about Nuud's key growth tactics and the personal touches they've used to drive sales, along with an inside look into some of their top performing Klaviyo flows and campaigns. Now, I did take some questions from the community, so thank you so much to everyone that submitted a question when they signed up. But if you guys think of anything else you'd like to know that comes up during this chat, please feel free to head on over to the chat box, as I will be checking it throughout. So first up, we will have Martin. He is going to talk to us about how and why he started this business. And then we will have Eve to talk us through Nuud's marketing strategy, and then really delve into how Nuud are utilizing Klaviyo, the bit that we're all here for. And at the very end, we will have a no sweat guided meditation to soothe our tired minds, which I think we all need. It's getting towards the end of the week. I think we're ready for it. And last but not least, we are doing another giveaway, 2 prizes today. Each of the winners is going to get a pack of Nuud goodies. So you will want to pay attention to the discussion and stick around for that towards the end to be within a chance of winning that prize. Okay, I'm done talking. So let's meet Martin and Eve. Martin, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure, shortly. Thank you for hosting this. Here I am, Martin, from the office, our brand new office in Amsterdam. I will tell a lot more about Nuud in the coming 30 minutes.
Amazing. And Eve, can you just quickly introduce yourself as well, please?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Eve. I'm a marketing manager for Nuud. I joined Nuud actually at the end of 2019. Just before we moved over to Klaviyo. So I was here to witness the whole growth and success of it and be part of it. And I'm super excited to share what we learned so far.
Amazing. I cannot wait to hear from both of you guys today. I'm a personal massive fan of Nuud. I've been using you guys for quite a few years, so it's a good moment. All right, let's jump in because, like I said, we have so much to talk about. Let's kick things off with Martin. I would love to hear you tell us more about Nuud. I would love to know, when did the company start? What is the mission of the brand? And who is your target audience?
Yeah, for sure. Let's dive into that. So first of all, how the company started. There were more and more people looking for natural deodorants as an alternative to the regular ones. And already there were almost 100 natural deodorants out there. So in that sense, we're not new. But the whole issue with natural deodorants was that although they are natural, they were not really effective. Most of them are based on the same recipe as the do-it-your-own recipe that you will find everywhere on the internet. So what we were looking for was a deodorant that was as natural as all the other natural ones, but at least as effective as the regular ones. And now we came up with a natural deodorant that even works 3 to 7 days. So we easily surpassed that period. Then talking a little bit about the mission of the brand. Actually, the name Nuud refers to Nuud. So let's dive into that a little bit. So of course, Nuud, although spelled differently, refers to nude as in nudity, and we think nude means nothing to hide. And with nothing to hide, we refer to 2 ways. So the first one being from a company perspective, and the second one from a user perspective. From a company perspective, this dives into the ingredients. With most deodorants, it's hard to find or understand what kind of ingredients are in there. With Nuud, if you go to any of our domains, you will easily find them, and also explained thoroughly what exactly it is and what it does and why it's in Nuud. And on the other hand, there's the user perspective. What we are looking for are customers that are always satisfied, no matter the circumstances. So where with bigger deodorant brands, it's almost impossible to get in direct contact with the company. With us, you will get right in contact with somebody who will answer your question personally and adequately. So in those 2 respects, we find our mission, which derives from our brand name Nuud. Maybe talking a little bit about the target audience. Through the years, we have been able to launch so many ads and messages that in essence we have been A/B testing all the way long. And from that, it's derived that the typical nude buyer is the higher educated consumer with a very conscious mind, living in the more urbanized areas or larger cities. So that's our target audience in essence.
Amazing. And now I know the story about your friend who I think went traveling to Thailand. Would you be able to just briefly tell us that story? Because when I heard it, I thought that was so cool.
Yeah. So when in the beginning I was alone when before the brand was founded, and then I ran into one of the other co-founders at the time. And he just didn't believe my story that I had a deodorant that would be effective for 3 to 7 days. And he said, you know what?
I don't believe it.
It's hard to believe. That's the whole issue. But then he said, well, give me one because I will be having holidays in Thailand with my family for the coming 3 weeks, and maybe I call you afterwards. And then he came back and he made an appointment with me right away. As he just didn't understand how this could be so effective. So that's the story behind that.
That's amazing. I love that story. I mean, talk about rigorous real life testing. It doesn't get realer than that. Going out to Thailand with those humidities and the really high temperatures, you really put it to the test with that. Yeah.
So we also have users that, for example, there's one user. He is a diver for a professional diver, and he has to wear a sort of suit for hours underwater, and he's sweating like I don't know. And he said, well, even for that, Nuud works well. So wow. Yeah, that's cool.
That's amazing. Very cool.
Yeah.
You clearly have some very adventurous and willing friends to be test subjects, which I love. And you need that when you're starting your own business. You need your friends to get involved with things like that.
Yeah. Well, this was not even a friend, but in the meantime, I mean, over 500,000 people have tried Nuud. So among those, there's automatically a lot of adventurous people too, sharing their stories with us.
Yeah, which is amazing. And could you tell us a little bit about how the brand has evolved over the past few years?
Yeah, well, actually, not that much changed, as we do the same today as we started doing when we started out in 2017. Sure. But our mission has always been to create a product that is as sustainable as possible. Mm-hmm. So this starts out with the product itself, the cream. You would need 10 times or even less compared to regular deodorants. So then we have to produce 10 times less and go and on and on. Then it's in the tube, and the tube is 100% made of bioplastics, and that is wrapped in.
I think it's made from sugarcane. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. So in Brazil, there's a lot of sugarcane harvesting, and then when they take out the sugar itself, the whole plant normally was burned. But now this is called bagasse, so that's what remains after the sugar is taken out, and from this plant material they can create the input for plastics and create plastics based purely on this plant.
That's awesome. That's so cool. Yeah. And I love that since the brand started, basically nothing's changed, because, it's this formula that you've created, and why would you mess with that? You've clearly tested it. It works. So, stick with it.
Yeah. And, we've been thinking about maybe getting more products into place, like shampoos or whatnot. Yeah, sure. But we just believe that our product is so unique that if we would add another personal care product to it, like most of the companies that are in the same business do, just to increase sales, that would our brand name would become less valuable, because it will never be as unique as this specific formula.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that. And even though Nuud launched in 2017, the brand really had a boom in 2019, when you began growing rapidly and extensively utilizing advertising on Facebook and Instagram. Could you talk to us about how this method helped grow so much within that year?
Yeah, well, actually, we've been using Facebook and Instagram advertising right from the start. But the more people you have, the faster you can grow. So one part of this exponential growth is based on the fact that it takes some time to get enough users in your network to really grow. But next to that, quite importantly, we started using influencer marketing in 2019. So actually, at the moment, we have an in-house influencer team existing of 7 people.
Wow, and that's just doing to cover influencer marketing. It's 7 people on your team. That's remarkable.
Yeah. So they do nothing else than scrolling through all profiles to find the best fit. And so we have like 5 influencer corporations per day. So this is the influencer marketing part. Then, of course, there's also the Klaviyo part, which actually Jeva takes care of with us, among other things. The more people that are in your subscription list or subscribers list, the more effective this becomes. And currently, I believe Jeva, we have 300,000 people.
Yeah,
yes, that's correct.
Yeah, that's
so yeah, then your sales grow rapidly too, if you have so many people to inform about all the news.
Of course, and leading on from that, you know, in the last 2 years, you've increased your yearly revenue from 3 million to 6 million. Now that is so impressive. Apart from, you know, we've spoken about advertising on social media and influencers. Apart from all of that, what would you say are the main marketing tactics that you think got you to the position that the brand is in now?
Maybe you can tell a little bit more about it, Eva?
Yeah, sure. So I think, for sure, like apart from advertising on social media and using influencer marketing, that I feel like is still the main driver of revenue and growth. But then moving over to Klaviyo from another email provider has proven to be the best decision we have made in the late 2019, early 2020, as we were able to start using automated email flows. So that influenced a lot in terms of time saving and extra revenue as well, and how we engage with customers. Also using segmentations for our customers, understanding their different needs, sending better targeted campaigns, that all influenced the revenue and business growth. And we have also started selling on Amazon and bol.com, as well as we started to look for more B2B retail opportunities across Europe. So that's definitely all influenced our growth.
Amazing. And just going to say it now, we did not ask you to say that. You're blowing Klaviyo's trumpet, and thank you so much for that.
No, for sure. Yeah. We're very glad to be a user of Klaviyo.
Amazing. Well, we're very happy to have you, and you're definitely one of our huge success stories, which is the reason that we're talking today. And I actually have a question from the community that's come in. If I'm a new business without many resources, how can I get the best bang for my buck with paid ads? What are some best practices, and how much should I allocate to paid?
So I think for this, the best person to answer this question would be our co-founder and commercial director, who is not with us today. But I had a chance to consult with him about these type of questions before, and basically what he said is that The most important thing is to choose an agency that's specific to direct to consumer businesses or any type of business that you're operating in, and the agency that basically knows the drill. And then, it would be so much harder to do it yourself if you just don't have the right experience, as this could end up just wasting your money and not getting you the results that you want. And also focusing on paid at first to get started.
To get that initial boost.
Yes, exactly. And try to make sure that most of your budget goes to the actual media spend and not too much in the overhead. I would say these are like the most important bits.
I think those are some great tips. When you're starting out with your own brand and company, it's very easy to spend money on the wrong things. I'm sure a lot of people that have joined today have made that mistake, and maybe you guys did at the beginning. It's a minefield out there. So thank you for those tips. I think that will be really useful. And as Martin mentioned, you now have over 300,000 customers on your database, which is pretty wild. What are a few of the most important lessons that you've learned going from zero back in 2017 to 300,000 today in 2021?
Yeah, so just to clarify, like in total, we have over 500,000 users worldwide, but obviously not everyone is an email subscriber, and that's totally normal. But from those 300,000 subscribers that we have, I think the most important lesson for us is to respect our audience and not to bombard them with too many emails every week. We always try to keep our content fun and informative and not just focus on promotional offers every week. So I feel like that's super important for every brand, especially the growing one, because it's so easy for a customer to just click unsubscribe button right away if they're not, if they just don't want to see your emails anymore.
Yeah, that's such a good point. I mean, I do it if I find a brand is irritating me or sending me too many emails, or they're being too pushy. I don't think twice about it. I unsubscribe. So I think, that's such a great tip that all of the brands here today should really see their first 1,000, the first 300,000 customers as really precious commodities, and not to kind of bombard them, to treat them with respect, and also work out what they want to see, which we'll get onto a little bit later. And this is another question that has come in from the community. You're a multinational company, you're based in the Netherlands. How do you handle the language differences within the EU? We have many in Europe.
Yeah.
But specifically, how do you handle the language differences as it relates to e-commerce? Like, which languages do you send emails in? And if you do translate, how do you go about that?
Yeah, so as a Dutch company with international mindset, we quickly realized how important it is to localize as much as we can when we want to go into different European markets. So we only started with Dutch and English websites, but then we quickly expanded to 6 languages and 8 Shopify stores. So now we speak to our customers in Dutch, German, French, Spanish, Italian, and also we do have 3 subdomains for English users, English-speaking users as well. So we have .com, .co.uk, and .us, just so customers can buy in their own currency that's most familiar for them, and we definitely see that work for us. And this is also represented in our Klaviyo setup. So because we do have 8 Shopify stores, we do have 8 Klaviyo accounts as well. So that's quite time consuming to manage them all. And then if you imagine like us sending like one campaign a week or setting up flows, we have to replicate them across all 8 accounts. So that means that we also have to translate all the emails. So we do plan in advance. Like we have quite a good marketing planning structure in place. So we work with copywriters and translators, and first of all we will get our brief from a commercial director in Dutch, then that gets translated in English, then it gets sent to all other translators, then we get all the copies back, then we work on creatives, and then we set everything up on Klaviyo, and then the email goes out. So at least a week in advance, we must have everything already almost prepared to basically follow our schedule.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
that's no mean feat. I mean, I've definitely got some experience with translating before, and it's crazy to do because you have to check it. And it's not just a case of kind of putting something into Google Translator. You have to make sure it's a native that's translating it, to make sure that it's the wording is sensitive and it all makes sense in a conversational manner. So that's definitely no mean feat, and it sounds like a big part of the business.
Of course,
so important as well, you know, as you said. When did you start diversifying with language? Was it at the very beginning of the business, or, you know, a little way in?
Well, we of course we started off with the Dutch website. Shortly after with well, no, the Dutch and the English one similarly at the same time, and then afterwards, like in a year or maybe quarter of a year, it was Germany.
Yeah.
And then like 6 months later, maybe France. And then I think 9 months ago, something like that, Spain. And then only recently, like a month or 2 months ago, Italy was added. So the main reason for specifically these countries, obviously, is that they have the most inhabitants. So it makes most sense to diversify into those specific languages.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So the next thing I really want to talk about is your subscription service. You know, deodorant being such an essential product for all consumers, it makes a lot of sense to have this type of subscription service set up. How did you come up with your subscription packages?
Well, interestingly, when I thought of this company back in 2014, 15, so 2 or 3 years before we launched, my idea was exactly as we have done it now. Wow. Only difference was that I thought 99% of the sales would go through what's it called?
Subscription.
Recharge subscription, and now it turns out that I don't know whether because it's a deodorant or whatever reason, but people are less or more inclined to just buy it one-off each time. Currently our subscription is maybe 5 to 10% of all sales.
Wow,
and all the others, it's not so much. Well, it's in percentage then. And this is funny because this is where Klaviyo comes in. Because once bought, people get an email every, say, 2 weeks from us. This keeps them reminding of us and keeps us being in their evoked set, if you will. So although not subscribed, they probably buy Nuud again and again, partially because of the Klaviyo flows that are there. So
they're subscribed and they don't even know it. I think that's
they subscribe to our newsletter, of course. So this is how this is the only thing that differed from the initial idea of the brand.
Yeah, everything else went to plan, but that's so interesting. That's interesting that, you know, you predicted that subscriptions would be a much larger percentage, but yeah, like you said, because of the way the flows are set up, and you know, we'll look at your flows in a little bit. They're very multifaceted and very complex. That it kind of replaces the subscription, because like you said, you're in their minds, you're reminding them every couple of months, couple of weeks that they should repurchase. So that definitely takes the place of it. So you've had this subscription set up for a little while. What were the main kind of challenges that you faced with it?
With the subscription? Yeah, we had this right from the start, I'd say. The challenges are that every customer is different. So although we have a service that you can opt in for every 3, 4, or 5 months, but some people will maybe buy 3 in a time and only need the next one in 6 months, and the other one shares it with their husband or wife. and needs it every other month. So it's so hard to just capture all the needs within one service. So I'd say that that is the main thing. Other than that, there's not so many services out there that work well with Shopify. As you know, Klaviyo is well integrated with Shopify, and all the apps that we choose based on whether they are. And within subscription service, there's really only recharge as a big one. So there's not many to choose from, and there's not so much involvement in the setup of it. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you for letting us know those challenges. I know it's always really interesting for other brand builders just to know if they're experiencing the same things, and to maybe see ahead those pitfalls to come if they haven't done it yet. All right, we are going to dive into Klaviyo now. I know we've touched on it a little bit, but we're really going to dive in. Lots of questions from the community about what you're doing in Klaviyo. You guys are currently generating over 30% of your revenue by using Klaviyo, which is a great percentage. So let's dive in and give the audience some real examples and tips that they can try in their own accounts. So we're going to start off with your welcome flow. Now, this is a great flow that you have, one of your many flows that you have set up. This is by far the highest performing, with a flow produced email open rate of 70%. I think it was actually around 78%. So 70 is being sort of, not so generous. So, and I actually have a screenshot of it here. Kelsey, if you're able, thank you so much. So here you can all see the flow on the left. So this is the welcome flow. This is the one that we recommend every single one of you have set up as, day one in joining Klaviyo. This is what you need. And the email on the right is the one that had a 78% open rate, which I know I'm repeating that, but it's so good. I'm going to. So let's chat through the initial strategy for this and why you think it's been so successful. Eva, I guess this would be a question for you.
Yeah, sure. So just to explain, our welcome flow is for everyone who signs up to our master list, like the main list on Klaviyo, and they do that via sign up form on the website that also comes from Klaviyo. Like we set all our sign up forms through Klaviyo. And throughout the time, we tried many different variations of the welcome flow. So this might be the latest one, but we have like so many different variations of that, and that all depends on the sign up form that we use at that time on the website. So before we had a sign up form where the call to action was to sign up and you get a chance to win free Nuud. Now we have a sign up form that just invites customer to subscribe and they get 10% off right away. But both variations proven to be very successful. And then I think once the sign-up form has such a clear call to action, everyone is expecting to receive an email shortly after signing up. So the open and click rates are naturally very high for the first email. But for me, what's really amazing is that, people still have to go through the double opt-in procedure in order to even go to our subscription list and to receive that first email. So to get an open rate of like 78% after they went through the double opt-in procedure, that's an amazing result. And what's also very surprising is that even if people don't buy from the first email, we do send them like a second and a third follow-up emails, still asking them, would you still like to use the discount? And then on average, our second and third email still has an open rate, which is over 35 to 40%, which is pretty successful, I would say. So at the end of the flow, most of the people that signed up, they will become our users either after first email or second or the third email, because they will just use the discount and purchase Nuud.
Yeah, no, it's such a good flow. And I think, our generation, all the generations, we're pretty online savvy now. And I think a lot of us know that if we sign up for a newsletter or if we visit the website, then we might have a chance of getting a discount. So I think a lot of people now do that in the, fully knowing that they're going to wait for that newsletter to come through and utilize the discount. So I think that's got to come from some of the, 78%. And like you said, you have a further 2 emails, I think you mentioned, that, and they still have a really, really nice high percentage of open rate. So, maybe someone's opened this and thought, oh, that's great, I'll do that. And then they click off, forget.
Yeah, and they just forget.
Exactly, yeah. So you're not bombarding them, you're not annoying them, you're just reminding them. And I think that's a really key tip for everyone to take away from today. So we're going to look at one more flow. So Kelsey, if you could bring up the next, thank you. So this is a very diverse flow. This is your post-purchase follow-up flow. It's another one of your highest performing flows. The way you have this flow set up, it really gives you a lot of room for personalization for the customer. And how are you doing that in Klaviyo? And again, why do you think this one works so well?
Yeah, so for post-purchase flow, we split buyers into first-time buyers versus repeat buyers. I think that's the first and the most important step for us to differentiate them. And if we see that it's a first-time buyer, then we send them a thank you email appreciating them or of becoming our customer. We send them some great tips and videos on how to get used to Nuud, like different things to expect, what can work, what might not work in the beginning, and so on. And then if they don't buy again after a certain amount of time, then we send them another content-based email with some happy customers review and try to convince them to buy again.
Oh, that's great. I love that.
Yeah, and then once they become a repeat buyer, then of course we still start with some sort of appreciation, because this is just one of our brand values, to basically thank our customers for being our customers. And then and then after that, we either offer them a subscription service, because we still see some value in it. If they don't want to become a subscriber, then we just keep on reminding them to basically replenish and buy again. And then we basically monitor whether they did that or not. And if they haven't done that, then we just send them more convincing content-led emails, and in the hopes of them buying again. And at the end, still, like as Martijn mentioned before, it's really hard to understand different needs of different customers. So even though we time our emails quite well based on most of our users, still it won't work for everyone. So some people will buy monthly, some people will buy every 6 months.
Like Martin mentioned. And I just think, flows like this that have this much diversity, they just work so well because they hit so many different types of customers, like you touched on. So I just think, it's a really good point to make, that the more work you put into your flows, like this one shows a lot of kind of A/B testing has gone on, a lot of trials and errors have probably gone on in the background, the more you get out of it. So I think that's, again, a really good tip for people to take away. The more you put into flows, definitely the more you will get out of it.
And we definitely try not to get fixated on just setting up one flow and getting it going forever. We still do more testing, changing the type of content we use, and so on.
Totally. Yeah. Just seeing it as a working and evolving document, because, people, consumers are evolving. We're changing our trends, the way we shop, the way we see things and view things. So yeah, it has to always be updated. Now, I'd love to talk to you a little bit about your campaigns. What are you utilizing campaigns for, and how often do you send campaigns out to your database? I've actually had quite a few messages in the chat box, lots and lots of people asking how many campaigns you send and how often.
Yeah, so we do have 2 different types of campaigns. We have content-led emails and promotional emails. So we try to send more of content-led emails, but still no more than once a week. Like that's our role, and I don't think we ever send more than one email a week. And then we do send promotional emails anytime we want to increase our commercial results for that month, or we have a limited edition colored tube launching. And usually our promotional campaigns will either have a discount code or will offer to buy one item and get another one for free. But we do notice how our audience just loves our content-led emails. And even if there's like no offer in it, no discount, open and click rates will still be pretty high. Not so much like sales, but the engagement level will still be amazing because people are just not used to getting nice to read emails anymore from e-commerce brands because they're all just like so sales driven, so they really appreciate, you know, like heartwarming messages.
Yeah, and I as a consumer do as well, and I can actually see people on video nodding like this, like yes, yeah, I want an email that's not telling me to buy and giving me a discount. You know, maybe I've had enough of that today, and you just want something that's actually really interesting to read. So I think that's very, very important to remember. And we actually have one of your best performing product launch campaigns to show and talk about. So this is your family pack launch email, which Kelsey has brought up a screenshot of there. Can you tell us why you think this campaign had such a good result?
Yeah, so I think, you know, for a long time, we only had one colored pink tube in 2 sizes that we sold for a very long time, and that worked. But then we really like started to experiment with different colors, and you see if that creates more hype. And it did. So first we launched black tube, then we had a limited edition golden tube, really pretty, nice, shiny tube.
It's very
Yeah, and then we decided to go full on with 4 different colors in one pack. That essentially became our family pack. And that also had a really nice price incentive, because if you buy this pack, you basically get 20%. You get it for 20% cheaper than buying 2 regular packs. And what was really surprising is that we were expecting our regular customers to be the main buyers, because, you know, it's still like almost 40 euros for 4 tubes of deodorant. But what we saw is that even new customers went for buying the family pack, because they probably saw that, you know, it's a great value. I can share it with friends. Maybe we can even split the cost. And also they will have 4 different nice tubes with different colors. That's also like super cute to have in the bathroom.
I think it's a big incentive, you know, when it comes to color is key. It's eye-catching. I do love the original pink tube, but I think it's great that you're testing the waters with these fun summery colors, and it's obviously working for you. And the second email I'd love for you to talk through, which we kind of touched on, is it's called the Trust Your Instinct campaign. So this had a very, very healthy open rate of 28%. And like we touched on a couple of minutes ago, this email contained no discount, no purchase incentive. So can you tell us why you think this campaign had such a good response? And what was the content of this one?
Yeah, so I think, as I said previously, our audience just really finds these kind of emails from e-commerce brands so refreshing to read. And this email specifically was just a message about relaxing, breathing in and out, and trusting your gut. That's exactly what we're gonna do at the end of the session.
How perfect is that?
Yeah, and you know, this is like totally, it seems like it's totally not brand related, but at the end of the message, we still relate it back to the brand, just saying, this is the way we are. We trust our gut, we trust our instincts, and that's what our brand is all about. And, you know, people just like reading emails like that.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's, I think it's really great to see that emails such as this with no incentive, no discount, nothing are doing so well as well. And obviously you still have the call to action at the bottom. So it's still kind of like linking it back to Nuud, but in a very, very gentle way. So I think it was really great for you to talk about both of those emails, because they're doing very different things, but both doing very well. So interesting to look at.
This almost like gives you a choice, you know. Either you just read an email, smile and close it, or if you are being reminded that, you know, I might need a deodorant, then I will just buy it anyway.
Totally. And ending with some data maintenance. So this is another question from the community. Someone asked, how often do you clean your lists, and what type of segments have you set up that have proven to be the most successful for the brand?
So we do have quite a smart automated cleanup system set up that we have basically unengaged subscribers sunset flow. We just introduced it like quite recently, a couple of months ago, but we can already see how it's working for us because we don't need to do the manual data clean anymore. So basically, if a person has not engaged with any of our emails for a long time, we try to get them back with quite a big 15 or 20% off discount and like very clear call to action. It depends whether they purchased from us before or not. Like if they did purchase from us, then we give them 15% off. If they never purchased from us, then we just say like, hey, open this email and you will get 20% off Nuud. If they don't engage with that email, we do send a follow-up email after 7 days. If they still don't engage, then we just unsubscribe them, which essentially means that we don't need to go through our lists anymore and manually check like, okay, this person is active, this person is not active. It's just being done automatically within like a couple of weeks.
So it's being done very, very regularly as well, which I think is also key because
all the time.
Amazing. Yeah, because that can be a very laborious task if you're doing it, you know, on your own. So that's a great tip. Amazing.
Yeah, for sure. And then talking about our most successful segments, that's actually a tricky one because we don't really use that many segments yet because, you know, we essentially just sell one product. So we either target everyone or no one. But when we do send a campaign, we do send it to the entire master list. And if it's a promotional campaign, then we make sure to exclude people that bought recently to just not get like overly annoying with emails. But, you know, in the future, I would like to start using more and more segments like high spenders segment or people who bought our limited edition colorful packs, because that would mean that they're more likely to maybe buy some other limited edition items in the future. But yeah, that's all in our plans for sure coming.
That's the future plan. Stay tuned for what's happening next with Nuud. Well, thank you so much. That was truly amazing. So many key tips and in there and insights. And thank you so much. Big thank you to Martin and Eve for sharing your flows and campaign examples with us. So before we get into the lovely guided meditation activity, and then we will do the giveaway, I'm going to do a quick poll that I'm going to pull up now. So I'm going to launch that now, just purely because I am really interested in how you all found the show today. 0 means you hated it. That's fine. I won't hold it against you. And 5 means you really, really loved it. So just let us know. So I'm going to let that poll run. And while we do that, I will hand over to our meditation guide for today. Her name is Katja. And I believe Katja is actually coming to us live from Bali today. And she has kindly agreed to come on the show today to help soothe our minds, which I know that I need, and I hope you guys are going to appreciate this as well. I recommend to all of you to really take these next 10 minutes to just shut off from, you know, anything you're thinking about and any work you have on. So over to you, Katja.
Thank you. And thank you everyone for coming in here and for staying as long as, you know, to hopefully experience the practice. You know, some of you may even question, why on earth mindfulness meditation closing activity of such a beautiful event as this one, right? Like meditation, why? Some of you who've never tried it might also feel an inclination to kind of disconnect and sort of move on with your day. But my invitation is to give it a try. Mindfulness has many benefits, but today we will explore a benefit of pausing. So, we move from a task to a task, from activity to activity, and we forget to pause. And pause has a beautiful power to help us to disconnect, to reset, to rest, to breathe. So give it a try. I do invite you to actually switch off your cameras. If you want, you can even sort of change a seat or move somewhere where you feel very comfortable. So it doesn't have to be anything specific, but make sure that you can hear me good. And yeah, I don't have to see you or anything. So switch off, find a comfortable seat, sort of settle in, make sure that you are comfortable, that you feel safe, but make sure that you're also alert. So you're not too comfortable. If you can, see if your spine can be straight. So take these few seconds to settle in. The practice won't be long, about 5 to 8 minutes. So nothing to be scared of, nothing crazy. When you're ready, I do invite you to close your eyes. And usually what happens is when you do close your eyes, it's like you are becoming more aware of the space around you with what you hear, what you can sense. And see if you can use this. Become aware of the space around you. Become aware of the sounds and noises and perhaps the temperature in a room, wherever you are. What is the space that surrounds you? And perhaps there is also, a certain sense. Maybe the temperature in a room is comforting or not too much. You're simply acknowledge everything. You are becoming familiar with the space you are in. And from here, see if you can shift your attention inwards and find your body. Find your breath in your body. And for the next few breaths, I do invite you to slightly lengthen your inhale and exhale. See if your inhalation can be up to 4 counts. And then your exhalation also about 4 counts. As you inhale, you may almost sense how your body expands. Your belly, your chest. And as you exhale, also slowly, you witness how the air leaves your body. And you're welcoming a little pause that comes at the end of the exhale. And then one more inhale, 4 counts in. And then exhale, 4 counts out. And one more time, in. And out. And from here, see if you can breathe normally. You let your body breathe. You do not control anything. You simply witness, how does it feel to breathe? How does your body feel breathing? And I do invite you to reconnect, to imagine, to remember the quality of being kind and curious. Kind towards this moment, even if it seems to be imperfect. And also curious, what does it feel to be here? How does it feel to simply do nothing? And see if you can also now, with your attention, spot any parts of your body that may feel tension, perhaps in your shoulders, perhaps in your feet, in your belly. See if simply by directing your attention to these parts, they may soften, become more light, transparent. You may also notice if your face, muscles of your face feel tight. Usually that area between the eyebrows and the eyes and the cheeks, they may feel contracted. See if you can soften. As if you're smiling through the eyes or smiling through the corners of your lips, you may notice how it makes every single muscle of your face soften. And from here, see if you can widen the lens of your attention and become aware of your whole body, from those feet to the very crown of your head. Perhaps you may notice the breath flowing in and out, some tingling, vibration, warmth, or maybe even discomfort. And everything is welcomed. Everything is exactly as it should be. This is your home base. And if you notice that your mind has drifted away, your attention get out and you're in wandering thoughts, this is also normal. You can always return, bring your attention back to your home base. Over and over again, questioning and asking yourself, how does it feel to be right here in your body with your breath, softening any tension, allowing any discomfort, kindly, carefully. And sense that this very body that you have, this very body that's sitting here right now with its aches and pleasures, is exactly what you need to be fully human, fully awake, and fully alive. And before we finish, I would like to share with you this little story. One famous pianist, musician, was once asked how come his performance is so great. He was better than any other pianist out there. And then he responded that the notes he handled were no better than any other pianists did. But the pauses between the notes, this is where their art resides. The pauses between the notes. In your own time, I invite you to open your eyes. No rush. Simply welcome the light. Notice the space around you, and do notice if these little pause, these little few minutes changed something, did something to you, to the peace of your mind. And thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Katja. I feel very, very zen after that. I feel super calm. I can definitely tell my heart rate has gone down as well. So thank you so much. And for anyone that's interested in Katja and her teachings, I definitely am after that. Here are all her details. So all right, we're gonna quickly do the trivia question for the giveaway, because I know we only have a minute or so left. So you guys know how this works. You need to get onto your keyboards, get ready to put your answers into the chat boxes, because these things go quickly. I think the last one, the winner got in within under a second, so it goes quickly. So here is how the trivia question is going to work. Martin is going to ask the question, and then the first and a second person at random to get the right answer in the chat will win a box of Nuud goodies. So a really nice prize. So everyone get ready, and here we go. Martin, what is the question for the prize?
Well, the question is, how many languages does Nuud speak?
Ooh, they're coming. Oh my
Quickly.
goodness. You guys are quicker than last time. I can't keep up. Okay, so I'm actually going to have to scroll back. The first person to get it was Anna Newell. Anna Newell, congratulations. You won one of the goodies. And then I'm going to pick someone at random. This is the fun part. I'm like, ooh, who am I going to pick? I'm going to pick Xavier, I really hope I said your name right. You are the second winner. Those are the two winners, and we will contact you after the show. So thank you to everyone for playing. For the rest of you, Nuud are still kindly offering an exclusive discount code for you to use on their website. So keep an eye out in your emails for that. Next time on Live from Your Laptop, we have a female-led skincare brand joining us, Bolt Beauty. Bolt is rooted in the belief that women need products that can keep up with them, the kind that you can take with you as you bolt out the door, wherever that may be. So we are thrilled to have them on Live from Your Laptop on the 8th of July. So make sure you subscribe to attend, and I hope you guys can join us again. I hope you all have a great rest of your week.